Welcome to the Game of Life podcast, where we bring you inspiring softball stories, insightful tips from coaches and players, and explore how the game transcends its boundaries to become a metaphor for life. Whether you're a sports enthusiast, a casual fan, or someone just looking for inspiration, you're in for a treat. We'll unravel the tales that go beyond the scoreboard. Discover how perseverance and hard work on the field translates into resilience in your daily challenges. Learn about teamwork, leadership, and the unwavering spirit that fuels success, not just in sports, but in the game of life. Well, hello, Allie.
Hello there. Happy 2026.
Yeah, this is season 3 for us. We've done 64 episodes in the first 2 years. The goal is to go weekly, but life gets in the way and the holidays and whatnot. So this is our first episode of 226. And I thought we could start off talking about something relative to the beginning of the year, and that's resolutions. And everybody gets so excited about the turning of the year, and it's going to be different now, and I'm going to do A, B, and C. And you were telling me some fun stats about that.
Yeah, I saw a thing online the other day, and this is a great topic, I feel like, especially going into the new year, but it was something like I think only 10% of people keep their New Year's resolutions long term, and by the end of the first week of January, almost a quarter of them have already quit. And then by the end of the month, almost 40 of them have quit. So I think to me, it's a mix of two things, right? Number one, we're setting unrealistic goals, or number
Yes.
two, we're going for perfection. As soon as we don't reach it, we give up because that's easier than, the struggle of it all. So I think New Year's resolutions are such an interesting concept because what's stopping you from making a goal midway through the year? What's stopping you from making a goal in October? What's preventing you, right? I think the thing with New Year's resolutions is, okay, it's going to be this huge lifestyle change, and I'm going to do dry January, and I'm not going to eat sugar, and I'm not going to do this, which they're all great things. I'm not meaning to sound like that, but I think you don't have to be perfect. It's not 100% or 0%. It's, oh shoot, I accidentally ate sugar in the second week. That doesn't mean you have to give up for the whole year.
Yeah.
So those are just my initial thoughts.
Well, in class, I talk about personal finance and investing all the time. And the joke I have the students trained on is, when's the best time to invest? And they all say yesterday. Second best time's today. And the next best day is tomorrow. Like, if it's really supposed to be life changing or habit changing, or you want to consistently build something positive in your life, why are you waiting and giving yourself this free period for a couple weeks? If it's December, November, or even June, oh, next year it'll be different. No, it won't. That's why what you said, 80%, I think, fell mid-February.
Or
It,
something.
it's,
Or I think, yeah, 60, somewhere in there. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like at the start of softball season. You're like, this year I'm going to run a mile every day, but I'm going to wait till the games start. I'm not going to start in tryouts and preseason. Once the season starts, I'll start. That makes no
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
Habits start today. And it doesn't mean you mentioned another word, perfection. If you're chasing perfection, you will always fail.
Yeah.
You can strive for it, understanding there's hiccups along the way, but when you stack good days more than bad days, that's going to be how you grow. And there's no such, you can't be perfect. You just can't.
Well, and I think when it comes to the resolutions, they're usually these big things, and we say, I'm going to do this by the end of the year. But then there's no plan every week on how you're going to work toward it. There's no change in your lifestyle, right? One quote I like is, right, if you want to be in the 1% of people at something, that means you have to do something different than 99% of other people. You have to do
Yeah.
something different to earn the opportunity to be there. So I think, for me, right, I know like I try to do New Year's resolutions sometimes, but mine now are a little more focused of, hey, I'm running the Chicago Marathon in October. Every week I want to try to run X amount of miles. Or those days in the past few months where I wake up, my alarm goes off, and I'm like, I don't have to go to the gym. Those aren't okay anymore. Like those are things that I need to get better at. But it's not, oh, well, if I miss 2 days, I'm just going to give up on it altogether. It's those little moments that I'm trying to stack that are going to make me better off so that even if I only get 50% better at it, I'm still 50% better than I was.
Well, we were talking the other day. we were just talking about small moments and little moments because those small moments is where success is built. You don't just start something big. Motivation's great, but it wears off. Discipline doesn't wear off, and that's where all those small moments come through. And I hear players or students or anything when they're or myself, if you're trying to change habits, uh, the first day you don't feel like it, or the first day you feel sick. The important thing is to keep doing it because if you're sick and you only give 50% of your normal effort, it's 50% more than not doing it.
Hmm.
And that all adds up and it goes back to perfection and getting the most out of everything. No, you just have to move forward each day. It sounds so simple, but everything else gets in the way.
Well, and it's funny you say that because I honestly saw something on social media the other day that hit me like a brick, and it said if you like we rarely ever feel 100%. You might get like 2 days a month where you truly wake up and you're like, wow, I feel fantastic. Like every mind, body, soul, like everything's going for me. I feel well rested. My stomach doesn't hurt. I don't have a headache, whatever it is. There might be 2 days a month where you feel like that, maybe ballpark.
Right.
So it's what you do in the other days that's gonna make the most of your life. So it honestly was just really interesting because I'd never thought about it like that. You wake up, I'm tired. I don't feel good. I have a busy day. I don't want to overdo it. Like I'm traveling. Whatever the reason might be, there's all these excuses that we make about why we can't do things, and I'm by no means perfect. I mean, I definitely do that sometimes too, and I feel like this time of year especially made me think about it because I know you and I were both just sick, and in those moments I'm like, oh, what I would do to go to the gym right now. But then there's days where I feel 80% better than I did when I was sick, and I still
Right.
tell myself I don't feel good enough to go to the gym.
But I mean, it's the Game of Life podcast, and we use sports as the foundation for life. We're kind of reversing it here. The same thing happens when you're competing. You don't always have your A game. You don't always have your best performance. Sometimes you just happen to be better than the other team. That's all that matters,
Hmm.
right? Or you don't win every matchup, but you win the one that matters at the end. And that comes from being consistent. And if you can do that in life, you can reverse it into sports. I know normally we talk about it the other way around, but it's
Yeah.
it's so much, it's so important in everything you do.
What are your thoughts on the buzzword or buzz phrase like new year, new me? What do you think about that?
Uh well, I mean technically new day, new me, if you want to be that way. Like every day you're redefining yourself, I always say your 18-year-old self should be proud of your 28-year-old self, right? And your
Hmm.
28-year-old self should want to go back and slap your 18-year-old self.
Yeah.
And and I mean, yeah, I get the fact you're changing and being new and reinventing yourself, but again, why does it have to be the year? If you're waiting for a number on a calendar, it, again, that's why 80% fail. It's not going to last. It can't.
Yeah, I like what you said. New day, new me. I really like that. And I think honestly is, we've talked about like the day that you start something new doesn't necessarily matter, but sometimes the end of the year can be a good kick in the butt to say, wow, like I told myself I was going to do this 6 months ago and I never did, and now it's already December 31st. So it can be a good kind of kick in the butt, but I definitely think it's important to self-reflect throughout the year and say, hey, what if I started today? Where could I be 2 months from now?
Well, and think about the new year. So college softball season, I mean, teams are practicing. They're
Hmm.
what, like less than a month away till they open up their season in February, the D1 schools. And it's a
Hmm.
little different as you go to different divisions. School ball for us in the Northeast starts March 9th. If you wait for the new year to change your habits, you've already missed the boat on training for your new year. So if you're worried about this softball season, you should have been making those changes last summer or last fall or when your school year started. So the whole concept is just so silly of a New Year's resolution. I wish we had the history of how that started. It's probably a marketing ploy for who all we know.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
maybe the gym started it. Maybe
Yeah, that it's true. You go to the gym the first week of the year, and I'm like, where did all these people come from? But no, it's really interesting. But to me, it's kind of like, we talk about setting a goal and then just deciding not to do it once you're not perfect. That would be like in the game of softball if at the beginning of the year you're like, I'm gonna bat 400, but I'm not gonna change how much I practice. I'm just gonna bat 400. Like that one, we'd kind of look at you and say, "What? Like, how's that gonna work?"
Well, let's pivot a little and talk about actual resolutions or goals.
Mhm.
One thing I really focus on, even with my students, we do vision lists, goals like
Like vision boards, stuff
yeah,
like.
well, we just list 25 things or high hanging things you want to achieve. And I tell them with all due respect, you shouldn't achieve all of them because then it's not a goal, it's just a to-do list. And and I said, I don't mind if you put a goal for a sport, but you can't possibly say I want to bat 400 because you can't control that. I
Mhm.
I want to have 80% of my bats be quality at bats, or I want to make, you know, limit my strikeouts. Like I don't like I want to win a championship. That goal, I don't know how you break that down into attainable things besides trying to you try to come up with small moments where that becomes a possibility. There's just too much out of your control, especially the people you're playing you can't control.
Yeah.
So I don't sometimes people, even when they make resolutions or goals, they don't even frame them the right way.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, when it comes to goal setting, I feel like I have kind of an unpopular opinion, but it's like set the bar too high because sometimes failing at a high level can be better than succeeding at a low level, right? Like I'll use a super simple analogy. You say, okay, my goal is to walk up 1,000 steps. You could set a goal of 100 steps and reach it super easily. If you fail because you only got 900 of the 1,000, that's still better than achieving the 100. So it's just, I feel like you have to set your goals so high, and then, yeah, you might fail, but it's about what you're doing along the way because you're better off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've mentioned him before. My friend Cam F. Awesome, right? Who I've met, that's the winningest amateur boxer in U.S. history. He always says you set your goal so high, he contributes it to like a tree where you literally can't get to the fruit on the top of the tree. But when you're falling all your way on your way down, you get to grab all that other low-hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the analogy you kind of gave with the step example. Like you have to understand if you set your goals high enough, you probably will fail, but you're still going to be 10 times better. I don't know why I use 10 times, but you're
Yeah.
going to be noticeably better than if you just set simple to do tasks. And people are afraid of that. Remember, I remember when you guys were busting out of your comfort zone when you got to be 14 years old, 13 years old for travel softball. You'd go play in tournaments, and I mean, your first year, I think you were lucky to have a 500 record, and then you come back locally and like, oh, we're 192 and one this year. Well, who are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
What? That's what we're saying. What kind of goal is that? Like, why does the record matter? For
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
And so your goals should be hard. They should frustrate you, and you should want to attack them. Not on January 1st, but when you decide to attack them.
What are your thoughts on, because I know people have done this, having like one major goal as opposed to like 20 smaller goals?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, feel
Right?
like
Like
a
I'm gonna start meal prepping. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get a promotion at work. I'm gonna do that, like
Well,
all those
okay.
things.
Let's since you said meal prepping, let's just say getting in
Yeah,
shape
yeah,
or weight.
yeah.
So the one major goal might be I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Well, I don't. What's that mean? You have to have all the little goals to get there. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to work out 5 days a week. I'm not going to eat after 8 o'clock. I'm just going to drink water. I'm going to cut out sugar. So I feel like it's okay to have a real lofty goal. Just like, every year I coach high school softball, it'll be my fourth year. I tell the kids, let's go win a state championship. That's great to have that. But it means we have to pay attention to all that small stuff even more to even maybe have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So though I think they coexist.
So you feel like it's good to have mini goals within the major goal?
You have to. I
I
don't know
think
how
you
you
have to too. So what
well,
about
you're
it?
you're running the Chicago Marathon next year. So what are your mini goals? I mean, are you just going to show up the day and run it?
Yeah. No.
Good luck. I'm
No,
I'm
not at
not
all.
going then. No.
No, and that it's true. It's what I'm eating, mobility, strength, running, different types of running, sprint workouts, long workouts, different type, what type of shoes am I gonna wear? Like, how am I gonna fuel during it? All the
and
stuff.
and and knowing you're going to have hiccups along the way, success isn't linear because between the holidays and being sick, how have you been towards achieving that goal the last 3 weeks?
It's been tough.
Yeah, you've probably you realistically you've probably gone backwards.
I maybe. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mean from where you started, but
Hmm.
if you're going towards your marathon, the last 3 weeks has probably been like that.
You know what
But
it,
you're still better off than when you started
you
and you
know,
can kick back
you
in.
know where I am right now? I'm like one of those roller coasters that's clicking back, right? I'm ready. One of these days soon, it's just
Yeah,
gonna move forward.
fair enough. Fair enough.
No, but it's true. I think you have to have many goals within the big goal. I think where it gets tricky sometimes is if you have like multiple big goals that are in totally different aspects of your life all at the same time.
Well, there you go. You're running a marathon and you want to take a college course and then you want to start you want to buy a house. I'm
Yeah.
just you
Yeah.
can't sometimes you can't have too many and now you could have those on like a vision board because those are
Mhm.
things you want to talk into existence and work towards. But if you're really working for something big, you can't have too many big things going on. You just you'll
Or you
quit.
can, but you have to be realistic about the time frame that you're going to achieve them
Hmm.
all in.
Okay, that's a good one.
I mean, you can't have five and then say I'm going to do all these in a month. It's probably okay, I'm going to have five, but it's going to take me five times as long to
Yeah,
achieve all
that's
five.
that makes sense.
But
No, so all right, we we'll circle back as the corporate world says,
yep.
and we're talking about the New Year and resolutions. So I think, to be fair, I'm fine with people making New Year's resolutions,
Hmm.
but just understand why are you making them because it's really time to change and it just happens to fall on January 1st, or is it because you got so inspired by the ball dropping and all the celebrities singing and dancing the night before that and you ate too much and you're so full you just think now's the time to do it,
Right. Right.
just got to be careful. I mean, New Year, that's why I said new day, new me. You could wake up any day, like if someone eats too much or drinks too much or eats drinks soda all the time, whatever their bad habits are, the next day is your new year.
Well, and I feel like to
Doesn't
have
have
the
to be
truly,
doesn't have to be a calendar year.
yeah, I feel like the thing you have to have behind any goal is your why. Like you have to know the why of how you're gonna do something because no one's gonna make you do it. For the most part, there's really no one in your life who should want it more than you do. So I feel like if you're gonna make a resolution or just set a goal in general, you have to say, what's my why or my kick in the butt that's gonna make me work toward it every single day, really, or every week, every month, whatever your timeline is, but what's your why?
So yes. So is there a difference theoretically between a resolution and a goal?
I don't think so. I think it's just timing.
Okay, and it's just probably how it's branded because the new year, right?
Yeah.
Uh Also, I think if you learn to embrace the journey because you have a why, like I always think I remember as a kid when we always went to Myrtle Beach, the trip down, this was before tablets and games and all that stuff, was agonizing. But I was so hyped up with the end result, knowing 12 hours later we'd be in Myrtle Beach.
Hmm.
Like it was worth the torture of the whole trip. And I think sometimes when you set a goal and a resolution, if you have a strong why attached to it, it's worth all the pain and setbacks and ups and downs to get there. It's
Hmm.
just like a trip. And really, happiness is that journey. When you get there, you're not as excited as the trip. And then about 2 days before the vacation's over, you already start feeling sad because it's almost over. So you have to keep setting new goals and new goals and new goals.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that too, because the other part of this is, okay, let's say you have a goal in October. How do you be present, be where your feet are, and enjoy the lead up into it as well? I mean, vacation's a great example. It's okay, I'm looking forward to vacation. When I'm on my way to vacation, I'm looking forward to being there. When I'm there, I'm counting down the days until I have to leave, and then once I'm gone, I miss being on vacation. Like, notice how
Yeah,
in that speech, I didn't say anything about the present moment that I was in any of those times. So
that's
it's
so true.
okay. on the plane, I'm gonna listen to this podcast. I'm gonna watch this movie. When I'm there at the beach, I'm gonna be where my feet are, and when I'm gone, I'm gonna be grateful that it happened and ready to return to my routine.
But there, but again, that's so there. It's so complicated. Resolution or goal. First, they have
Yeah.
to be high enough. Then you have to be, stack the small moments, and you have to be disciplined. You have to somehow enjoy the process along the way.
Hmm.
And you have to know it's not linear, and then you have to be aware of when you've accomplished it to feel grateful and start your next journey or start your new goal. And all that shouldn't cause anxiety. It should cause fulfillment. It should
Hmm.
make you it should be your identity. It should make you excited you're accomplishing things. And I think are we just don't think about it that way.
And I think too, when we talk about trying to enjoy the journey or enjoy the process of your goals, it's one of the things I think about is it's hard to be stressed when you're practicing gratitude. So, like, if you can somehow have gratitude in the journey that you're on, I think you're going to be a lot happier in general, just from my experience too. And that's something I'm trying to get better at, no matter what your goal is, right? Oh, you're not playing enough in softball. Your goal is to get, to be a starter. Okay, well, I'm grateful to be on the team. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work hard every day. I'm grateful for my teammates. Like, you can spin it in a way where you're
Yeah.
almost not tricking yourself, but showing yourself that you should be grateful for the season or the position that you're in, and then also excited for what's to come.
And you know what helps with all this is I was just telling students today, I don't think people write enough. I mean, you can call it journaling, you can
Hmm.
call it daily thoughts, you can call it reflections. People spend more time every day scrolling through the thoughts and actions of other people and no time thinking about their own. And when you're writing, right, reflections or journaling, you're actually talking to yourself, and then you're scrolling through your own life. And I think that's another missing piece. It's always going to look better when someone else is doing it. But if
Hmm.
you're spending more time reading about other people than reflecting on yourself, you're never going to be happy with that, whatever goal you set, because someone's always going to have something better
Well,
or
and
quicker or
I like,
faster.
I like that scrolling through your own life. I like that. We might have to
We
start
don't we
using
don't
that.
do it.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
I mean,
I'm
but when you see other people doing stuff too, you're only seeing the end. You're not seeing the journey
yeah.
for them or the true journey. I mean, sometimes they're gonna post updates, but you're not
You,
seeing it
you know,
every
you
day.
mentioned you mentioned scrolling. Like, I don't know, would it be weird if you went through your own Instagram and just scrolled through all your past moments? You'd probably have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, you can use all this technology in a good way. You can use gratitude as such a superpower. And uh, I think it all just comes with developing a plan, no matter what time of the year it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I definitely agree.
no, this was a good start. As always, we start the day talking about, what we're going to talk about. I text, oh, sounds great. And then it gets close to the moment and we switch and pivot and do our thing.
Yep.
So
Sounds
this
about
this
right.
was good. And I'm excited. I mean, I know our goal this year is to have a more guests on, but we enjoy this equally. So
Yeah.
uh you everybody will be seeing a new logo I made. I'm super excited. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure you
It's gonna be
follow us.
good. It's
Yeah,
gonna be good.
Game of Life 247. Allie,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's always fun. And thanks
Yeah,
everyone for listening.
see
Happy
you
New
next
Year.
week. Happy New
Bye.
Year. Bye.